There is so little about Black men and Black boys in terms of mental health, mental illness, and certainly not about suicide.
It's a revolution. You can't hide from it anymore. The issues are so large and so in our face that unless you deal with it, you not only hurt yourself and the family that it happened to, but you'll hurt your institution. So there's no other choice but to become transparent. There is no other choice. My mother made the Revolutionary Act 30 years ago. She could have not said anything, but she said, go get some help to deal with what's going on inside. And because this curse is being broken right now, it's being broken.
Your mother also could have started the lie of life there, and then co-opted you and your sister so that no one ever knew that Daddy died by suicide. So something happened. It was, I mean, and you know, there are those secrets that everyone knows, but no one ever talks about. And so also a part of the health was that your mother from the gate called a thing a thing.
And that's when the transition can happen, and that's when the healing can begin. I actually understood that I needed to talk, that no matter how difficult the moment is, to borrow from MLK, no matter how challenging, you know, we will get to the promised land. We will get there, but sometimes there's only one way to get there, and that's through it. And you have to understand that it's going to be painful. It's going to be, but once you get to the other side, you've got a testimony and you can help other people. And and it is lonely. It is lonely and it is painful. The revolution is saying, this is it. This is not going to happen again. And once I do, I can reach back and with our children and my wife and go, look, come on now. And they can begin to reach back and reach out, and their friends at school. It's okay, guys. Look, come talk to them and be the revolution. Be the revolution out in the world.
Owning that we have the right to have all of our feelings. And that's really what this book is doing. It is giving permission and example by stories, yours and mine and many other people. You know, Dr. King also said, no lie can live forever. And so there has been a lie about Black boys and men, a lie about their spirits, a lie about their lack of intellect, a lie about their propensity for violence, a lie about being hypersexual, just lies. And so this book is really about inviting people into concrete information about what is true. You know, my mother, I was getting separated. I was married. This is many years ago. And my house was empty. My husband at the time had moved, you know, taken his furniture or our furniture. And I was standing in this empty house and waiting for a bed to be delivered. And I was running down the stairs. My mother was in my living room, again, where there was no furniture. And she said, honey, and I knew something was coming, honey, you know, I knew something was coming. And she said, are you going to put on your lipstick? And I looked at her like she had to be out of her mind. And I thought, now I do I mean, she Courtney was in the same generation of your parents. And, you know, she was trying to always represent, because her mother, whose father, my great-grandfather, was born into slavery. So this was all about look like you are okay even when you're not. Here my mother is asking, aren't you going to put your mask on? Aren't you going to? And I said, no, I'm not going to put, I said, I'm going like I am, because this is how I look like I feel. But that scared her. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because there's so much fear. And so what we've done in the Invisible Ache, we tried to disrobe ourselves without shame and without blame. We didn't blame our parents. We didn't blame ourselves. We didn't blame God. We have taken our clothes off. You know, in the story of the Garden of Eden, whether people see that as literal or it's a wonderful, you know, story that was narrative that was created, it says that Adam and Eve were naked and unashamed. And so I always want to remind us that our original nature was that we were naked and unashamed. We were naked and free. We were naked, which means I may have been sad, I may have been angry, I may have had joy, but whatever I was naked and I was unashamed. And so the Invisible Ache is about calling people back. You know, one of the things that we talk about in the book, and Courtney, you and I talk about, you know, personally, is that we have to have a tribe. The whole world is not going to embrace us. First of all, it doesn't deserve our sacred stories. That's number one. And even if they want to know it, the truth of the matter is we must find and create a tribe, a small tribe of people who we can tell our whole stories to and our whole truths. And whether or not we were abused or we did the abusing, or it is both, I am victim and perpetrator. We need a confessional, if you will, not with a priest or a rabbi, but with a tribe of one or two people who, again, I can be naked. And even if I feel shame, I'm reminded that I am worthy of being loved and accepted.
I was talking with my daughter again, you know, about, you know, something that went down, and she recognized with a friend of hers. And I said, honey, now you know, everybody doesn't need to be in your inner circle. You can't take everybody with you. You can't, everybody's not going to be able to, you can't travel with everybody.
Some relationships are lifetime relationships, but we need to check the expiration date. We need to check, just like we do on medication and on food, there are relationships, and that can even be with immediate family. If someone isn't good for us, it doesn't mean we hate them or they hate us, but there is a journey of deciding who it is that belongs around our table, in our ear.
Some people you got to love from a distance.
Yes. Yeah.
And some people you got to love them right out the door.
Absolutely.
White person sees a white young man or a white young woman, they see their son, their daughter, their niece, their nephew. You see an older a white man or a white woman, you see your mother, your aunt, uncle. But when a white person potentially sees a black person, they don't, that empathy may not translate, and we don't get the benefit of the doubt. And that's our reality. We've lived with that for centuries. What do you do with a dream deferred? Mm-hmm. What is a community? What does a people do? Where do you go with that?
So the question for allies is, can you tolerate a level of discomfort that you're not accustomed to, not being the savior, the hero, but questioning. Can the ally question, I wonder, where am I a part of this? Not a part of the solution, but where am I unconsciously a part of the problem? And so I think for allies, and this is true for men, with women who are like, yes, I'm all for women. And I'm like, okay, but start looking at where your privilege as a man is leveraged. And can you own it and say, oh, I wasn't aware. Again, my bad. And this really is for the ally to also say, I want you to feel safe, but I can't know whether or not you feel safe unless I can come to you. And if I am safe enough for you to tell me, no, I don't trust you. And for you to not be offended, for the ally to not be offended. So I think this is a real invitation also that all of those who want to help Black boys and men need to be asking questions about what does safety look like, and then wait for the ones who have been wounded, if they can imagine sharing what is their truth, to listen to what it would look like from their side of it.
None of this is a quick fix. It doesn't start at all. It just gets worse if we don't talk about it.